Lovingly, Heavenly Father, thank you for all the blessing that you have bestowed upon us, and thank you for this day. We come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this online class. May you extend your divine wisdom to our educator and shower her your greatest inspiration, so that she may share the most of her knowledge, heart, and soul to the topic to be discussed. May she be blessed as she continues to bring her expertise in the field. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Uh, this activity is a graded activity equivalent to one mastery test. So the criteria to be used in evaluating the cluster's uh, performance today would be based on the following. First is we have the delivery, 25%, content, 25%, presentation, 25%, and ability to answer questions promptly and accurately for 25%. So we have a total of 100%. So during the open forum, I would like to ask the reporters to turn on their cam. And for the non-reporting clusters, turn on your cam as you ask your question, but you have to give first your name and also the cluster that you belong. Okay, so that will be easy for the reporting cluster to monitor if all the clusters have already asked their questions. Okay. So I hope there will be no errors in what will be presented in your PowerPoint slides, including the journal entries, because that would affect the content of your report. Okay, you can start now.
Okay, good morning, Miss. I'll start to present. Wait lang sa.
Cluster leader, please check the attendance and submit it today in our GC.
Good morning, ma'am. Is that visible, Ra? Is my video seen?
Yes,
Okay, I'll start
and
now.
you can be heard.
Okay.
Everyone, good day, Ma'am Fernal. Yes, we are Cluster 3 and we will be presenting about the government agency PAG-IBIG or HDMF.
And in this slide, we are presenting the itinerary for our presentation for today. So first, we begin with PAG-IBIG Fund's background, its vision statement, its mission statement, and its corporate values. For Pag-ibig's vision, they want every Filipino worker to save with Pag-ibig Fund and to have decent shelter. Its mission is to generate more savings from more Filipino workers to administer a sustainable fund with integrity. Its corporate values. The governing values that will steer the Pag-ibig Fund in pursuit of its vision include professionalism, integrity, excellence, and service. So we have discussed the mission vision statements of Pag-ibig and its corporate values. But what does Pag-ibig really mean? Pag-ibig stands for Pagtutulungan sa Kinabukasan, Ikaw, Bangko, Industriya at Gobyerno. Pag-ibig Fund is also known as the Home Development Mutual Fund or HDMF. It is a government-owned and controlled corporation that helps Filipinos save money for their future needs, particularly for housing. Pag-ibig Fund provides housing loans, affordable financing, and other related services to its members. Members can save regularly to accumulate funds which they can use to avail of housing loans or withdraw as provident benefits. Pag-ibig Fund also provides assistance for calamity, multipurpose, and educational loans to its members. The Pag-ibig Fund is offering socialized and low cost housing to Filipino citizens, especially those belonging to the lower income bracket. Primarily, it aims to promote home ownership and encourage savings among Filipinos.
So let us now proceed with the membership qualification and benefits, membership registration forms, and sanction for non-compliance. So let us now proceed with member qualifications and benefits, membership registration forms, and sanctions for non-compliance. The requirements for the PAG-IBIG membership is 2 copies of a filled-up member registration form. To get that, simply visit any PAG-IBIG branch and provide the following: an original and photocopy of a valid ID accepted by the PAG-IBIG Fund, and a properly completed PAG-IBIG Fund request slip in order to request a hard copy of your PAG-IBIG MDF containing your PAG-IBIG MID number. Along with that, you will also need 2 copies of a recent 1x1 ID photo, one valid ID photocopy back-to-back of the principal buyer and spouse, co-buyer and spouse, if applicable, and proof of income for any of the following. For self-employed with owned businesses, they will need a certified true copy of income tax return with financial statement with copies of official receipt of tax payments and DTI registration or mayor's permit or business permit. For drivers, certified true copy of transport franchises issued by appropriated government agency, LGU for tricycle, LTFRB for other PUVs. For foreign remittance and pensions, they will need a bank statement or a passbook for the last 12 months in case income is sourced from foreign remittance, pensions, and etc. And finally, for sari-sari store or mini grocery subcontractor, on-call maintenance technicians, they will need barangay certificate or clearance and properly accomplished certificate of engagement duly notarized. Next is for those locally employed, they will need a notarized certificate of employment and compensation indicating the gross monthly income and monthly allowances or monthly benefits received by the employee, certified 1 month payslip within the last 3 months prior to date of loan application latest income tax return for the year immediately preceding the date of loan application with attached BIR form number 2316 stamped received by the BER for government employees. The certified 1 month payslip within the last 3 months prior to date or loan application must be submitted together with CES or ITR. For OFW, for employment contract, they will need an employment contract between employee and employer or POEA standard contract. For certificate of employment and compensation, they will need CEC written on the employer or company's official letterhead or CEC signed by employer supported by a photocopy of the employer's ID or passport, and lastly, income tax return filled with host country or government.
Let's tackle the penalties or disciplinary action imposed on member who fail to comply with the fund's policies and guidelines. Firstly, non-compliance with these guidelines shall include but are not limited to the following: failure to register with the fund or update employer and employee's record within the period specific herein, and failure and or refusal to collect and or remit the correct amount due within the time set by the fund. Second, refusal or failure without lawful cause or with fraudulent intent to comply with the above provision, particularly with respect to the registration of employees, collection and remittance of the employee contribution, as well as the required employer counterpart, or the correct amount due within the time set herein, shall constitute an offense punishable by a fine of not less than, but more than twice the amount involved, or imprisonment of not more than 6 years, or both such fine and imprisonment at the discretion of the court. These shall be apart from the civil liabilities and or obligation of the offender or delinquent employer. Third, When the offender is a corporation, the penalty shall be imposed upon the members of the governing board and the president or general manager without prejudice to the prosecution of related offenses under the revised penal code and other laws. Revocation and denial of operating rights and privileges in the Philippines and deportation when the offender is a foreigner. Fourth, in case of government instrumentalities, agency, or corporation, the officer or employee responsible for any or all of the following shall be punishable by a fine of not less than, but more than twice the amount involved, and imprisonment of not more than 6 years. First, failure to include in the annual budget the amount corresponding to the employee's counterpart contribution. Second, failure or refusal to deduct the monthly contribution of the employee from his or her salary. Third and last, failure, refusal, or delay in the remittance of the employee contribution, the employee counterpart, or both by more than 30 days from the time such amount become due and demandable. Fifth, an employer who previously deducted contribution and or amortization payment from employees but did not remit the same to the fund shall be liable for the payment of said contribution and or payments, including applicable interest and penalties, as well as the dividends that the contribution could have earned had they been remitted on time. Sixth, if the employer did not collect from employees during the time of his or her delinquency, said employer shall be liable for the payment of the counterpart contribution for that period. However, said contribution shall be treated as a single contribution for the month in which the payment was made in favor of the concerned member. Lastly, the right to institute the necessary action against the employer may be commenced within 20 years from the time the delinquency is known or the assessments are made by the fund, or from the time the benefit accrues as the case may be.
So now we will be talking about the latest PAG-IBIG contribution table. First is the PAG-IBIG contribution table for employees and employers. The suggested increase in PAG-IBIG contribution rates was scheduled to take effect in 2021. However, delays were made due to the COVID-19 outbreak, and to reduce the financial obligations on its members, PAG-IBIG has declared that after 3 years of delay, the anticipated contribution increase will be pushed back to January 2024. With that said, here's a look at PAG-IBIG's contribution table and some adjustments made in 2023. The employees are expected to contribute to the PAG-IBIG fund on each payroll or whenever they are paid on a monthly basis. For an efficient collecting approach, the employer processes each payroll automatically. The employee's contribution is deducted from each paycheck issued by the company. Furthermore, businesses pay their share of each employee's contribution. Take note that this amount is never taken from an employee's wages. As you can see in the table, for employees earning less than 1,500 pesos a month, their monthly contribution is 2% of their basic salary, while their employers contribute 1% with a total of 3%. As for those who are earning 1,500 pesos to 4,999 pesos, the employer and the employee will split the bill, both paying 2% for the salary range with a total of 4%. As for those who are earning 5,000 pesos and above, both employee and employer will pay 3% with a total of 6%. Now let's move on to the PAG-IBIG contribution table for OFWs or overseas Filipino workers. So OFWs will be required to pay PAG-IBIG contributions beginning in 2022. Overseas Filipino workers who fail to comply with the new regulation would be unable to apply for and acquire their overseas employment certificate if their payments have not been paid for a year. So there are OFWs whose employers are subject to mandatory PAG-IBIG coverage, and there are also employers who are exempted from the PAG-IBIG coverage. So for those OFWs whose employers are subject to mandatory PAG-IBIG coverage, Some overseas employers, primarily those in the maritime business, are required to support the Pag-IBIG contribution rate. Marines will have their monthly contribution rate removed from their pay as with those working in the Philippines. As you can see in the table, those earning 1,500 pesos and below, the employer's contribution rate would be 1%, while the employee's contribution rate would be 2% with a total of 3%. For those earning 1,500 to 4,999 pesos, both employer and employee would pay 2% with a total of 4%. And for those earning 5,000 pesos and above, both employer and employee would pay 3% with a total of 6%. While for those OFWs whose employers are exempted from the Pag-IBIG coverage, these overseas workers often work in companies that aren't subject to the Philippine working industry standards. Therefore, they will pay their contribution rate from their own pockets at the standard 2% of their monthly
Let's
income.
move on to the PAG-IBIG contribution payment deadlines. Members who want to pay monthly should remit their contribution on or before the 10th day of the following month. Quarterly payment is also allowed due on or before the 10th day of the following quarter. For example, the contribution for the third quarter of 2019, which is July to September, must be remitted by October 10, 2019. Now, employers, cooperatives, and trade associations follow a different schedule for monthly Pag-IBIG contribution remittance based on the first letter of their business name. Now, let's look at the next slide at the table. Now, we'll look at the first letter of the employer's name and then you'll see their deadlines. So, if your employer's name begins from A to D, then your deadline therefore will be the 10th to the 14th day of the following month. If your employer's name is from E to L, then your deadline will be from the 15th to the 19th day of the following month. If your employer's name is from M to Q, then therefore it will be on the 20th to 24th day of the following month. But if your employer's name is from R to Z or 0 to 9, then your deadline will be on the 25th of the last day of the following month. And for those paying for their Pag-IBIG MP2 contributions, you can pay a one-time lump sum deposit or pay your contributions monthly, twice a month, or even quarterly.
Pag-IBIG contribution payment channels. So there are a lot of payment channels that you can choose from. For freelances and OFWs, they may remit Pag-IBIG contributions using their MasterCards or Visa credit cards, or they can also go to the Pag-IBIG online payment facility to make a credit cash payment. OFWs may also remit their contributions abroad through AUB and PNB branches in their country of employment. Some other payment channels are SM Business Service Centers, SM Hypermarket, Save More, Bayad Center and its authorized partners, Land Bank, Metro Bank, Easy Pay through 7-Eleven and merchant stores, Emulier, GCash, Union Bank of the Philippines, Bank of the Philippine Islands, Security Bank Corporation, and Cash Pinas Management app.
Now, for the accounting journal entries in the books of employers such as remittances, payment of loans deducted from employee salary, etc. In the books of employers, regular saving contributions are journalized in this way. Firstly, for the remittance of the employee's monthly regular savings, there is a debit to employee benefits, a debit to Pag-IBIG payable, and a credit account totaling the amount of the preceding debit accounts to cash. Secondly, to deduct regular savings contribution from employees' monthly salary, there is a credit to Pag-IBIG payable and a credit to cash. The total amount from the credit accounts will be debited to salaries expense. Next, we have the accounting journal entries of employers for short-term loans. Firstly, the remittance of the employee's Pag-IBIG monthly loan payment is journalized with a debit to Pag-IBIG loans payable and a credit to cash. Secondly, to deduct short-term loans from employees' monthly salary, there is a credit to Pag-IBIG loans payable and a credit to cash. The total amount from the credit accounts will be debited to salaries expense.
PAG-IBIG offers various programs and services which are housing loans, short-term loans, multi-purpose loans, and calamity loans. First, we have our housing loans. The PAG-IBIG Fund housing loan allows you to borrow up to 6 million pesos under very low rates to help you fulfill your dream of owning a home. All you need are housing loan application, vicinity map of property, additional requirement by loan purpose, proof of income, updated tax declaration and tax receipt, valid IDs, and certified true copy of title. To avail the housing loan, all you have to do is 1. Complete the requirements shown in the previous slide. 2. Submit your PAG-IBIG housing loan application. 3. Receive your notice of approval and letter of guarantee. 4. Complete the requirements stated in your notice of approval. 5. Receive your PAG-IBIG housing loan proceeds. And 6. Start paying your PAG-IBIG housing loan. You can pay through their accredited collection partners, which are Asian United Bank or AUB, SM Bills Pay, Metrobank, Land Bank, Bayad Center, Easy Pay, Globe or GCash, UCPB, M. Luilier, Cash Pinas, and PayMaya. As of January 2022, the interest rates are for 1-year fixing, we have 15.75%, 3-year fixing 6.375%, 5-year fixing 6.625%, 10-year fixing 7.375%, 15-year fixing 8%, 20-year fixing 8.625%, 25-year fixing 9.375%, and for 30-year fixing, we have 10%. Of course, there are limitations as to availing the housing loan. They are lot area less than 28 square meters, condominium floor area less than 18 square meters, properties with road right of way less than 1.5 meters, land types classified other than residential use, and residential buildings must be compliant to the National Building Code PD 958 or BP 220, as the case may be. The collateral to secure payments are clean title, either may be transfer certificate of title or TCT, original certificate of title or OCT, and condominium certificate of title or CCT. Those that are not accepted as collateral are rights, free patent not covered by RA 10023, and with disputes or claims in the court. Next, we have short-term loans or STL. The requirements for it are multi-purpose loan application form or calamity loan application form, which we can see on the right, valid ID acceptable to the fund, and proof of income. The penalties if you are not able to pay your dues are a 20th of 1% of any unpaid amount for every day of delay. Penalties can be reversed if the borrowers are paying through salary deduction. In the case of non-remittance, 1/10 of 1% per day of delay of the amounts payable from the date the loan amortizations or payments fall due until paid. And we have the multipurpose loans or MPL. So it is a cash loan designated to qualified PAG-IBIG fund members. You have to at least have 24 monthly membership savings under the PAG-IBIG regular savings program. You have to be an active member by having at least one monthly membership savings within the last 6 months prior to the date of loan application. Or if you have an existing PAG-IBIG house loan, MPL, and/or calamity loan, the accounts must not be in default. And lastly, you have to have a proof of income. To avail the MPL, you have to submit their form, get the STL acknowledgement receipt, and on the scheduled date, you get the loan proceeds. So how much can I borrow under the PAG-IBIG MPL? If you are a qualified member, you can borrow up to 80% of your total PAG-IBIG regular savings. So you can renew your MPL after paying an amount equal to at least 6 monthly amortizations and upon satisfying the eligibility requirements. So if you're worried about the interest rate, the MPL has a low interest rate of 10.5% per annum.
Now let's talk about calamity loan. So what is calamity loan? The Pag-ibig Bond Calamity Loan seeks to provide immediate financial aid to affected Pag-ibig Funds member in calamity-stricken areas as declared by the Office of the President or the Sangguniang Bayan. So, what are the qualifications to apply for the PAG-IBIG Calamity Loan? You must have the following to qualify for the loan. Firstly, at least 24 monthly membership saving under the PAG-IBIG regular saving. Second, active membership by having at least one monthly membership saving within the last 6 months prior to the date of loan application. Third, if with an existing PAG-IBIG housing loan, multi-purpose loan, and or calamity loan, the accounts must not be in default. And fourth, proof of income. Now, I will be discussing how to apply for a PAG-IBIG calamity loan. You can easily apply for a PAG-IBIG calamity loan via the following option. Firstly, online via virtual PAG-IBIG by uploading your duly accomplished loan application form and requirements or completing the PAG-IBIG calamity loan application online form. Second, over the counter by submitting your duly accomplished loan application form and requirements to your employer or personally at the PAG-IBIG Fund branch near you. Now, you may ask, how much can you borrow under the PAG-IBIG Calamity Loan? Qualified members may borrow up to 80% of their total PAG-IBIG regular saving, which consists of their monthly contribution, their employee's contribution, and accumulated dividends earned. If you have an outstanding multi-purpose and or calamity loan, the amount of loan you will receive shall be the difference between the 80% of your total pag-ibig regular saving and the outstanding balance of your loans. This means that the more you save in your pag-ibig regular saving, the higher loan amount you may apply for via the calamity loan. If you have an outstanding pag-ibig multi-purpose loan, or also known as MPL, the amount you may borrow shall be the difference between the 80% of your total pag-ibig regular saving and the outstanding balance of your pag-ibig NPL. Now, how much is the interest rate of the Pag-ibig Calamity Loan? The Pag-ibig Calamity Loan carries the lowest interest rate in the market of 5.95% per annum. Now, how do you pay your Pag-ibig Calamity Loan? The loan is payable within 3 years or 36 months, with the initial payment due in the third month after the loan release. Member may also opt to pay the loans in 2 years or 24 months. If you are an employed member, you may pay your loan amortization via salary deduction arrangement with your employer. But if you wish to accelerate or advance your payments, you may do so via virtual Pag-ibig at any Pag-ibig Fund branch near you, or through any of their accredited collecting partners outlet or their online payment channel. But if you are a self-employed individual or an overseas Filipino worker, also known as OFW, you may pay your loan amortization via virtual Pag-ibig at any Pag-ibig Fund branch there near you, or through any of their accredited collecting partners outlet, or their online payment channel.
Next, we will go to Pag-ibig Savings, specifically regular savings, MP2 savings, and Pag-ibig Savings Claim. So what is regular saving? Pag-ibig regular saving is a safe and practical saving option with substantial annual dividend earning that can help protect your future. This is so that after a membership's 20-year maturity period, retirement, and other circumstances, you can eventually take your money. At least 70% of the Pag-ibig Fund's yearly net income is put aside for dividends which are then proportionately credited to the Pag-ibig savings of its members. Then the more you save, the larger the dividends you'll receive. Pag-ibig regular savings generated a dividend yield of 5.5% in 2021 despite the pandemic's difficult to our economy. Depending on certain circumstances, you may withdraw your Pag-ibig regular savings. The following is an example of these. Membership maturity after 20 years equivalent to 240 monthly contributions. Retirement at age 60 or at 65. Separation from service due to health reasons. Permanent departure from the country. Permanent and total disability or insanity. Critical illness of the member or any immediate family member, as certified by a licensed physician, or member's death, in which case the member's legal heir will receive his or her total Pag-ibig regular saving, plus an additional cash benefit of not more than 6,000 pesos.
So, next on our agenda is the PAG-IBIG MP2 savings. So, what is the PAG-IBIG MP2 savings? The MP2 savings is a special savings facility with a 5-year maturity, designed for PAG-IBIG fund members who wish to save more and earn higher dividends. In addition to their PAG-IBIG regular savings, the program is also open to pensioners and retirees who were former PAG-IBIG fund members. Next, what are the key features of the MP2 savings program? First, it is easy to save as members can save for only a minimum of 500 pesos per remittance. Second, earns a higher dividends than the Pag-ibig regular savings. Third, dividends are tax-free and can be withdrawn annually or after the 5-year maturity. Lastly, the MP2 savings are government guaranteed, so the risk of you not receiving your dividends is very minimal. So, who can save in the MP2 savings? First, the MP2 savings is open to active Pag-ibig Fund members. It is also open to former Pag-ibig Fund members, which are the pensioners and retirees, with other sources of monthly income, regardless of age, and with at least 24 monthly savings prior to retirement. Next, natural-born Filipinos who reacquire the Filipino citizenship pursuant to RA 9225 or the Citizenship Retention and Reacquisition Act of 2003 with at least 24 monthly savings prior to the permanent migration to another country. So, how can I save in the MP2 savings? Step 1. Create your MP2 savings account through the following options. First, via virtual pag-ibig. Second, by submitting your duly accomplished MP2 enrollment form and the corresponding requirements at any pag-ibig fund branch. Step 2. Save in the MP2 using the following payment channels. First, virtual pag-ibig. Second, accredited collecting partners like Palawan, Wheeler, 7-Eleven, or e-wallets like Gcash and Coins.ph. So, Pag-ibig dividend rates. So, Pag-ibig Fund sets aside at least 70% of its annual net income and credits it proportionately to its members. This means that the more one has saved, the higher dividends that members shall earn. Pag-ibig Fund invests at 70% of its investable funds in housing finance as required by its charter. It also invests in government securities and corporate bonds. The Pag-ibig MP2 savings, being a voluntary program, earns a higher dividend rate than the mandatory Pag-ibig regular savings. So here are the MP2 savings dividend rates since 2011. So on the year 2011, the dividend rate was 4.63%, 2012, 4.67%, 2013, 4.58%, 2014, 4.69%, 2015, 5.34%, 2016, 7.43%, 2017, 8.11%, 2018, 7.41%, 2019, 7.23%, 2020, 6.12%, 2021, 6%, and on 2022, 7.3%. The highest dividend rate, which is 8.11%, happened on the year 2017, while the lowest, which is at 4.58%, happened on the year 2013. As we can see, 2017 was its highest peak, and gradually the dividend rates became lower because of the pandemic, which was not very beneficial to Pag-ibig. So, Pag-ibig Savings Claim is a privilege granted to members who have met the eligibility requirements to withdraw their full contribution amount plus interest earned over the years. So, when can you or I claim my Pag-ibig contributions? There are two ways to obtain your regular Pag-ibig contributions or provident savings. So, first is membership termination or option withdrawal. So, upon membership termination, so what are these? So, first, membership maturity, retirement, PTD or permanent total disability, separation from employment for medical reasons, critical illness of the member or an immediate family member, individual's partner, parent, kids, grandparents, grandkids, or children who were lawfully adopted, permanent departure from the Philippines, and lastly, death. So, option B, optional withdrawal. First, is completing 180 uninterrupted monthly donations and at least 15 years of active participation. Second, at the time of withdrawal, there were no active Pag-IBIG housing loans, either as the primary of a co-owner, borrower I mean. Next and lastly, Pag-IBIG short-term loan. So, what are the requirements to claim our Pag-IBIG savings? First is the downloadable form, and next is the checklist of requirements. So, things to take note of. A. If Pag-IBIG loyalty card is not available, two valid IDs must be present. Next is for retirement purposes. The valid IDs must reflect the member's date of birth. If the valid IDs do not reflect the date of birth, submit any of the following. First is birth certificate of member issued by the PASA or the Philippine Statistics Authority. Next is the non-availability of birth record issued by PSA and joint affidavit of two disinterred person must be notarized. So what are the procedures to claim our Pag-IBIG savings? Step 1. Submit accomplished application for provident benefits, claim form, and supporting documents. Step 2. Get provident benefits acknowledgement receipt. Step 3. On the scheduled date, get the claim proceeds.
Now, let's move on to the Loyalty Card Plus and its uses. So what is a PAG-IBIG loyalty card? Well, members of the PAG-IBIG Fund are granted permission to use the rewards and discount card known as the PAG-IBIG loyalty card. Cardholders can enjoy more than 350 partner retailers and institutions that provide exclusive incentives and discounts up to 50%. What is the difference between the PAG-IBIG Loyalty Card versus the PAG-IBIG Loyalty Card Plus? Well, the PAG-IBIG Loyalty Card Plus, which was launched in 2019 in collaboration with Asia United Bank and Union Bank of the Philippines, has many advantages over the previous PAG-IBIG Loyalty Card. With an EMV chip, the more recent PAG-IBIG Loyalty Card Plus can be used as an ATM card to deposit and withdraw your PAG-IBIG perks and profits. For quick and easy access to the member's prepaid and savings account, it can also be connected to the mobile application of the issuing bank. Now, what are the uses of the Loyalty Card Plus? Well, with an EMV chip, the more recent PAG-IBIG Loyalty Card Plus can be used as an ATM card to deposit and withdraw your PAG-IBIG perks and profits. It can also be connected to the mobile app of the issuing bank for easy access to the member's prepaid or savings account. You may use the card to also pay for your groceries, tuition fees, hospital bills, fuel expenses, restaurant bills, and you can even use it as a cash card where you may conveniently receive your PAG-IBIG multi-purpose loan proceeds, MP2 savings dividends, and other benefits. Now let's move on to the virtual PAG-IBIG. So what is virtual PAG-IBIG? So virtual PAG-IBIG is a PAG-IBIG fund online service platform that enables you to simply and safely access PAG-IBIG fund services whenever and wherever you need them. All you need is a smartphone or computer with an internet connection. Additionally, a Linkhook PAG-IBIG support representative is available through chat to address any questions or problems you may have. It's like having your very own personal PAG-IBIG fund branch available to you at all times. So what services does the virtual PAG-IBIG offer? So by simply visiting www.pagibigfundservices.com/virtualpag-ibig, you can immediately enjoy the following services. You can register as a PAG-IBIG fund member or get your permanent membership ID or MID number, open an MP2 savings account, apply for a PAG-IBIG multi-purpose loan, apply for a PAG-IBIG calamity loan if only for members whose area of residence is declared under a state of calamity, take the first step in applying for a PAG-IBIG housing loan, apply for a PAG-IBIG home equity appreciation loan, view the status of your loan. It can either be housing, multi-purpose, calamity, or home equity appreciation loan, top up your PAG-IBIG regular savings, save in the PAG-IBIG MP2 savings, pay your PAG-IBIG loans such as housing, multi-purpose, calamity, or home equity appreciation loans, apply for interest rate repricing on your housing loan, claim your PAG-IBIG savings due to membership maturity, optional withdrawal of savings, retirement at age 65, and MP2 savings maturity, and lastly, you can chat with the Linkhook PAG-IBIG 24/7 to help you learn more about your PAG-IBIG fund benefits. Now, moving on to the next slide. This slide is all about the top 2 frequently asked questions about virtual PAG-IBIG. The first question asked is, how can I access the virtual pag-ibig? You can easily access the virtual pag-ibig by visiting www.pagibigfund.gov.ph and clicking on the virtual pag-ibig while using a smartphone or computer that has an internet connection. The second most frequently asked question is, how can I create my virtual pag-ibig account? By simply visiting virtual pag-ibig at the Pag-ibig Fund website, click the create account button and choose how to create your account from the following options: via your Pag-ibig Loyalty Card Plus, via online activation, or via account creation of overseas Filipino workers or OFWs.
As the group prepared for this paper and this presentation, we would like to extend our gratitude to Ms. Lindy Amber Holano, whom we conducted an interview with. We were able to ask her questions and gain more information on how Pag-ibig operates. With that, we conclude our Pag-ibig presentation. We are now ready for your questions. Uh, yes, Joshua, do you have a question?
Hello, hi, Cluster 3. I'm Joshua Dabon from Cluster 1. I have a question for you guys. Great presentation, by the way. My question ba is, can a member be penalized for not updating their membership information sa Pag-ibig? Nadunggan ako. Sige, thank you. Kanang again, my question is can a member ba be penalized for not updating their membership information with Pag-ibig?
Hi, Yosh. Yes, for it is the employer responsibility to ensure that accurate and complete documents are submitted on behalf of their employees. Failure to, failure to do so may result in delayed loan processing or penalties imposed by Pag-ibig.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, AJ, do you have a question?
Yes. Wait. Mm. How long is the period for an eligible member to apply for a Pag-ibig calamity loan once the program becomes available?
Um, AJ, what cluster are you from again?
Sorry, I'm AJ Balingan from Cluster 1.
Okay, thank you for that. Also, thank you for that question. So the eligible members are required to apply
for the Pag-IBIG calamity loan within 90 days from the date of the state of calamity declaration by the Office of the President of the Sangguniang Bayan in the area of residence.
Okay, thank you.
Um, can we have Claudio next for his question?
So good morning, Cluster 3. So that was a very good presentation about Pag-IBIG. I am from Cluster 1 and I'm from Cluster 2 and I am Claudio Aquino Echeverria. So my question is like, is there a certain limit as to how many loans a Pag-IBIG member can avail in a certain year?
To answer your question, Claudio, there is no limit. You can save as much as you want under MP2. However, should you make a one-time savings that exceeds 500,000, you shall be required to make such remittance via personal or manager's check. Also, members with MP2 savings of above 100,000 shall be required to submit proof of income or sources of funds based on the checklist found in the MP2 savings enrollment form. Did I answer your question, Claudio?
Yes, you did, Mr. Agipo. Thank you for the answer.
Thank you for the praise.
Next, can we have Miss Avestrus?
Hi, I'm Michaela Avestrus from Cluster 5. So, what are the partner establishments where I can avail discounts and privileges using my Pag-IBIG Card Plus?
Okay, since no one from my group is answering yet, I'll just answer. Actually, there are several partner establishments where one can avail discounts. In fact, you can even search it online. Uh, they listed down several partners, and then that includes uh, cosmetic stores, restaurants there, and then there's also like hotels, hardware and appliances stores. It's a variety, so I can't really list down everything, but it's really a lot. Thank you for that question, Miss Avestrus. Next, can we have Miss Jana Roble?
Hi, good morning, Cluster 3. I'm Jana Cassandra Zirobler from Cluster 4, and my question is, can a member apply for a Pag-IBIG calamity loan even though they are already receiving benefits from Pag-IBIG due to a previous calamity?
That was a wonderful question, Ms. Jana Robles. So to answer your question, the answer is no, because the program is intended to provide financial aid for a specific calamity only. But EBIC ensures that the program's funds are distributed equitably and that the aid reaches as many members as possible who are experiencing the financial hardship of a recent calamity.
Thank you for answering my question.
You're welcome.
Can we have Miss Galindez for her question?
Hello, cluster. What cluster are you again? I'm so sorry.
For
Okay.
question
Uh,
3.
cluster T. Hello, cluster T. I love your presentation
Layla,
by
we
the
cannot
way.
see your face.
I'm sorry, miss. So I am Kyla Megalindas from Cluster 1. My question is, what is the difference between Pag-ibig MP2 and regular savings?
The, uh, the MT the MP2 savings earn higher dividends than the Pag-ibig regular savings, and its dividends oh, sorry, are tax-free and can be withdrawn annually or after the 5-year maturity, while the regular savings can be withdrawn depending on the circumstances.
Thank you for that, Cecily. Next, can we have Miss Risha Oyangurin for her question? I think she's the last one.
Hello, good morning, Cluster 3. That was a very nice presentation. So, I have a question. In instances where the member cannot claim his or her pag-ibig calamity loan proceeds, can he or she authorize someone else to claim their proceeds?
To answer your question, Ms. Oyangarin, yes. By providing a special power of attorney document, the SPA must be notarized, which include the member and representative signature, purpose, and duration of the authorization. The authorized representative must also present a valid ID, the SPA document, and a copy of the member's valid ID when claiming the calamity loan proceeds. The member should only give the SPA to a trusted individual and provide all necessary information to avoid delays in claiming the loan proceeds. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Yangorin.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Agipo.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Next, can we have Miss Damar for her question?
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Sai.
My question is, can a member apply for a Pag-ibig calamity loan even if they have an existing loan with Pag-ibig?
Hi, Carmela. Thank you for that question. So, yes, as long as they have a good credit standing with Pag-ibig, members can apply for a calamity loan even if they have an existing loan. This requires the member to have no overdue payments or unpaid balances from their previous loans with Pag-ibig. Therefore, it is crucial for the member to maintain a consistent payment record to qualify for a calamity loan.
Okay, thank you for that, Chalo. Next, can we have Miss Emerald for her question? And please state your cluster.
Okay, so good morning. I'm Emerald Yu from Cluster 1. Great job with your presentation, Cluster 3. So my question is related to the MP2 savings. So is there a limit to the amount that I can save in the MP2 savings?
So there is no limit. You can save as much as you want under MP2. However, you should make a one-time saving that exceeds 500,000 pesos. You shall be required to make such remittance via personal or manager's check. Also, members with MP2 saving of above 100,000 shall be required to submit proof of income or source of funds based on the checklist found in the MP2 savings enrollment form.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, can we have Mr. Hentika?
Hello, good morning, Cluster 1. My name is Marchas and M. Hentica from Cluster 5. And my
Oh,
question
wala.
is,
Ang reporting cluster is not cluster 1, right? Di ba? Cluster, unsa mo?
Cluster
Cluster
3, miss.
3.
It was a
Cluster
mistake.
3. Wala ninyo correction ni si Mark, ha?
Miss, because
Cluster
he
3.
was so miss, inverse on his question, miss. I didn't want to disturb him.
so
It was
my
so
question is, I'm sorry, Cluster 3. So my question is there a minimum balance requirement for maintaining the Pag-ibig Card Plus account?
Hi, Mark. Is it your question about the minimum balance? Okay,
Yes.
so there is no minimum balance requirement for maintaining a Pag-ibig Card Plus account. Hopefully that answer your question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, can we have Miss Locando for her question?
Good morning, Cluster 3. Very great presentation. I am Queenie Bilacando from Cluster 4. So, my question is like, us as a student, can we already apply in Pag-ibig?
Thank you for the question, Locando. Well, voluntary Pag-ibig membership is registration with the Pag-ibig Fund with an optional for the following individuals aged from 18 to 65. Non-working spouses of registered Pag-ibig members and Filipino employees of a foreign government or international organization.
Thank you.
I think that's all of your questions. Any more questions, guys? Okay. Mr. Dabon, you may state your question. Our counselor. Hi.
Ay, wait. Hello. Madunggan ako, di ba? Shara.
Yes.
Sige, thank you. Again, from Cluster 1, Joshua Dabon. My question is about the calamity loan again. For calamity loan ba, is it possible to avail it even if your area kay it's not declared in a state of calamity pero something happened? Like, is that possible? Again, my question is for the calamity loan. Is it possible but to avail it even if your area it's not declared in a state of calamity but something still happened there?
To answer your question, Mr. Counselor, no. Even if something happened in your area or along Sodor City, qualified members whose areas were declared under state of calamity can avail the loan. So if your place is not declared by your city or Longsod, then you cannot claim your calamity loan. That is all. I hope I answered your question, Mr. Counselor.
Ah, sige, thank you. Thank you guys. Very very good job on your presentation by the way. I really love the aesthetics. Very nice presentation.
Thank you for the
Thank you,
praise.
Josh.
Next, can we have Miss Yu?
Hello again, Cluster 3. Again, congratulations with your presentation. My question is about MP2 savings again. So, is there a minimum amount that I should save in the MP2 savings?
Yes, the minimum MP2 savings is 500 pesos per remittance.
I see. Thank you so much.
Any more questions, guys? Can we have Miss Oyangorin?
Hello, Cluster 3. I'm Risha from Cluster 2. My question is about the housing loan. So, is there a maximum, or are there a maximum years payable for the loan? Or, and if so, can everyone avail the maximum years payable?
Hello again, Ms. Yangarin. Again, to answer your question, yes. There is a maximum of 30 years for the housing loan to be paid, but not everyone can avail this option. And the reason for this is Pag-ibig considers 70 years old as the maximum capacity for its member to be able to pay the loan. Now, if the member loan at the age of 65, obviously, its maximum years to pay the loan will only be 5 years. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you, Ms.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. Can we have Miss Yu?
Hello again, everyone. So this is my third question again about the the MP2 savings. So how much dividends will my MP2 savings earn if I apply for it?
Thank you for your question, Miss Yu. Well, your MP2 saving earn annual dividends at a rate higher than the dividend rate of the Pag-ibig regular saving program. Pag-ibig funds set aside at least 70% of its annual net income it up credits it approximately to its member Pag-ibig saving as dividends. This means that the more you save, the higher dividends you shall earn. Hope it's answer your question, Miss Yu.
Wow, thank you so much. I will surely save more so that I will earn more.
Good idea.
Thank you for that, Miss Yu. Next, can we have Miss Larada?
Good morning, Cluster 3. And I am Kendrick Larada from Cluster 2. So, my question is about housing loan. What happens if suddenly the member dies? Will the property loan be acquired back by Pag-ibig, or will the family members pay the loan instead of on behalf of the principal?
Okay, to answer your question, um, when the principal dies due to natural causes, the obligation to pay by the member will be extinguished, and the property involved will automatically be considered as paid. The heirs will enjoy the property without any liabilities involved from the relatives who loaned the property as long as updated ang member.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Next we have Miss Damar again.
Hello everyone, I am Dalmar from Cluster 1, and my other question is, can I remit a one-time lump sum amount for the MP2 savings for a 5-year period?
Thank you for that question, and the answer is yes. You can choose to remit a one-time lump sum amount for the whole 5 years period of your MP2 savings.
Thank you, Cluster 3.
Can we have Miss Yu again?
Okay, hello again, Cluster 3. So I just realized that your presentation, colors, and everything was so aesthetic that I came up with this question. So what happens if a member fails to pay their Pag-ibig calamity loan? Excuse me.
Hello again, Mr. Yu. Miss Yu, I mean, I'm sorry. What happens if a member fails to pay their Pag-ibig Calamity loan is they will be charged 1% monthly penalty based on the outstanding balance until the loan is settled. If the account remains delinquent for 3 months, the loan will be considered in default, and Pag-ibig may foreclose the collateral if they need. The member's name will also be included in the Pag-ibig funds list of defaulters, affecting their future loan applications. Failure to pay the calamity loan may also result in legal action. That's why it is recommended to settle the loan on time, discuss available options for restructuring or extending the loan term, or contact Pag-ibig for help.
I see. Thank you so much. This is Miss You, and I'm done asking questions.
Thank you.
Next we have Miss Sarsale.
Hello, Cluster 3. Good morning. Am I audible, Ra?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so my question would be, how can a member or employer avoid pag-ibig sanctions for non-compliance?
Hi, Micaela. So, to avoid pag-ibig sanctions for non-compliance, members and employers should first register with pag-ibig and remit contributions on time and in the correct amount. Update membership information as needed to ensure accurate communication from pag-ibig. Ensure the loan applications and payments that are processed correctly and on time. And lastly, comply with all other requirements and obligations under the law.
Okay, thank you. I am Anade from Cluster 5. Thank you, guys.
All the non-reporting clusters have already asked, no?
Yes,
Lendon?
miss. Yes, miss.
Okay. So thank you for a job well done reporting cluster. Ano to? Cluster 3, no, Lendon?
Yes,
Really
miss. We're
good.
cluster 3, miss.
Cluster 3. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your holiday. Bye.
Thank you and goodbye, Miss.
Thank you,
Miss.
miss.
Have a
Goodbye,
great
miss.
day
Bye,
also.
kids.